on Monday, Iowa is going to go vote. And, we've seen a few polls say it's Bernie by a couple points. We've seen a couple polls say it's Hillary by a couple points. Either way, it's a very close race. It's going to come down to turnout. We talked about it a couple of times. Hillary has her well-oiled machine on the ground, and Bernie has the momentum, the kids, the people who wouldn't ordinarily vote. There was actually a poll the other day that was released. I think 70% of first-time caucus goers will vote for Bernie. So with that said, Josh, who do you think wins the turnout battle on the ground?
Well, I think it's what you pointed out, that if Hillary's machine and her experience is better than Bernie's sort of grassroots movement that he likes to paint it as, then it will be a very close race, and she could come out ahead. But if Bernie's team is aware of what they're doing and perhaps as good as the people who were working for, say, Obama in 2008, I think he could squeak by. But here's the thing about Iowa: they do tend to do stuff completely differently than the polls. Now, I don't think that means that O'Malley's going to come in second or something, but I do think that anyone who says they know who's going to win Iowa is lying to you.
The O'Malley thing is very interesting because, of course, Iowa has this bizarre caucus system. They don't actually vote per se. And one of the key factors is that within an individual caucus group, where everyone basically gets together and talks through, what their support is, they have this arcane rule and I believe it's if you get less than 15% within your caucus, your votes are thrown back into the pool. So it's very possible that lots of O'Malley supporters are going to end up being cut loose and told you've got to pick either Bernie or Hillary. There's not enough of you here to put in a whatever they call it, a caucus vote for Martin O'Malley.
Quorum? Is it quorum?
Quorum. I'm not sure anyone in Iowa understands all the rules, but the point being that if too few people show up in some group supporting O'Malley, they don't get to support O'Malley. They have to get one of the other candidates. And I think, and see if you guys agree, I think overall an O'Malley supporter will probably vote Hillary if the choice is simply Hillary or Bernie. What do you guys think?
I'd say that any supporters of Martin O'Malley's who were with him because he's been, especially because of his record in Baltimore, he immediately jumped onto Black Lives Matter and embraced it. And so I think that whichever candidate is better viewed on that issue will probably pull a lot of his support. But
Sanders is better geared for that topic.
Yeah, I mean, because O'Malley is kind of a lefty. He's pretty left. So that's a tough one.
I think the O'Malley...
And here's the thing, they might just leave. They might just not vote.
That's true. Well, I think the O'Malley supporters are the ones looking for an alternative, and they didn't find it in Bernie. And they look for an alternative to the alternative. So that's why I think Peter might be right. They might be more likely to go towards Hillary because Bernie doesn't seem like their guy. But I think it'd be split pretty evenly. So, they say predictions are for suckers. And with that said, Peter, who do you think wins in Iowa and by how much?
Well, thanks for calling on me first with that one, Igor. I'm gonna go Bernie, but very, very close. You cannot discount the Hillary organization. The Clintons have been running campaigns nearly continuously, since the 80s. And they have got it down. They've got the money, they've got the computers, they've got the data models, and they can turn out staff. That's worth points right there. So even though she probably is behind in some kind of polling situation, she's got a weapon that'll buy her a couple of points just for showing up. That said, Bernie is really touching something out there in America right now, and so I'm going to give him Iowa, but it's going to be very, very close.
Josh, who wins by how much?
I think Bernie wins Iowa by a hair, and I think he does much better in New Hampshire, but then I think Clinton clobbers him in South Carolina.
Eric?
For me, as much as it pains me to say, I think Clinton will win very narrowly because I think Sanders is going to kind of drop the ball on this fake debate, and it's going to hurt him a little bit in the polls.
I think I agree with Eric, actually. But, all right, well, there's about 8 days between the Iowa caucus and the New Hampshire primary, and if Hillary does win Iowa, do you think that can help her stage an upset in New Hampshire, or no, Eric?
No, I think New Hampshire is Bernie's to win because he is crushing it there, and it's very close to his home state where he serves. So I think he'll win New Hampshire handily.
Well, on the other side, we have Donald Trump has a narrow lead over Ted Cruz right now. Cruz has been slipping a bit. Eric, who do you think wins there and by how much?
I think Trump wins. It's the whole facade. He's just going to kind of clean up all the primaries for the most part.
Josh?
Yeah, I think that Trump will definitely take Iowa, just because there's nothing that has stopped him yet. I mean, everything he does, it confuses everyone, but they love him for it, you know. So I think he takes I think he takes Iowa easily. I think the bigger thing will be who comes in second. Like, how does Marco Rubio do? Rand Paul's talked about he has like 1,000 some precinct captains. I mean, if Rand Paul's able to squeak in third in Iowa, I mean, he might all of a sudden supplant Rubio as the like non-crazy alternative, which is ironic because again, Rand Paul, he's kind of libertarian and they're all a little crazy. So yeah, I think it'll be Trump.
In the mirror and sees that hair and thinks I look good is a little crazy.
It's true.
It's a bad year for hair in the elections. I mean, between Bernie and Trump and Rand, I mean, we're really
too. Don't kid yourself. Her hair's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's sexist, Eric.
Sexist.
Would you talk about a man candidate's hair?
No, I'm bringing you. None of you mentioned a woman. I'm bringing it into the mix. Keep it balanced.
And Josh does the hair close up. Fine, I get to do it too.
Yes.
Look, the thing about Trump is that the laws of gravity don't apply to him. I mean, the kind of things that can happen to a candidate at the last minute, where they say something stupid or some piece of information about them, you know, is leaked by an opponent at the last minute, or I mean, those things don't seem to apply to Trump.
He's already said them.
Yeah, that's my point. I mean, Cruz can stumble on something. Whatever. Trump, it doesn't matter. So I think you guys are.
They literally have video of Trump saying, "I'm totally cool with abortion," and it does nothing. It does nothing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Trump and the goat. I mean, if that didn't break YouTube, what will? But the
daughter thing. What he said about his daughter. Like, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd probably be dating her.
Sure, I was making something up about bestiality, but you make the point that sure, he went out and, in favor of incest. I mean, but that said, I think you guys have touched on the key issue for the Republicans in Iowa, which is who survives. Because if somebody gets pick one, Jeb Bush gets whacked hard in Iowa and then goes to New Hampshire and gets whacked hard again. I mean, it's really hard for that guy to keep dragging this whole thing forward. So I think we'll see a lot of thinning out of the Republican herd.
But Jeb has the money to stick into like probably Super Tuesday.
Maybe, yeah, but I mean,
somewhat. But your guys like your Santorums, your Huckabees. I think we're having our last undercard debate on Thursday. This is the last one.
They're already gone. I mean, Huckabee is making Adele parody videos now.
Chopping baked beans.
If we don't have it as a featured item on Latest.com, people can Google Huckabee and Adele. I mean, it's just horrible. It's like
not on Latest yet. It will be when this is over. I promise you.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
But I mean, it's like something kids do for fun, where they lip sync to Adele. So, I mean, Huckabee and those people, I mean, you say names like Santorum. I mean, I follow politics. I still have to stop for a second. Wait, Santorum. Oh, yeah, that guy, yeah. They're done. They're cooked. I think we're looking at whether Jeb Bush goes forward, whether Rubio
Carson.
further. Pardon?
I think Carson.
Carson?
He's done.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's pretty much history at this point. Nobody's even heard from him.
The pyramids are ancient grain silos, so we'll just let him have that one.
Yeah, we'll just let him work that issue on the sidelines.